off anyway later. All right, so since we're doing the shoe review article and having everyone put in their thoughts through the survey we put out, we're going to review some of the shoes that we've used in the past and tell you what we think and what we're using now and why and all that stuff. So, do you want to start, Luke?
Sure. So, I started with tennis shoes. But that did not work out so well, and I learned very quickly how important good shoes are. My first pair of shoes that actually had semi-decent grip were just kind of a random pair of Adidas shoes that I got at DSW, but they didn't last very long. So after that, my first pair of OCR shoes were the Innovate X Talon 200s, I believe these are. But anyway, that made a huge difference right there. I probably gained, 10 places in a race just by having actual good shoes. Because when you're climbing up a hill or something like that, you spend half your energy slipping and sliding. Once you have good grip, you can actually get traction and go up. So
Innovate is currently the most popular, at least based on the survey data that we got. So seems to be a good one.
Yeah, so these shoes, I like them a lot. They don't have much cushion at all. Which definitely took getting used to, but they drain water very well. They're very light, extremely durable. This is actually my second pair, but my first pair, that lasted probably like 400 miles and I don't know, probably 25 or 30 races before they even started falling apart, but not even that bad. So these are an awesome shoe and I really like them. My second pair of OCR shoes that I have, the Salmon Speed Cross 4s and Innovate X Talon 200. This was a big difference because of the heel. The Innovates are flat and have very little cushion. These are way different because they have a lot of cushion and the heel is much higher. So at first I was very hesitant. And actually not a very big fan, but now that I've done a couple of races in these shoes, I actually like them a lot. And I was thinking about it today, which one I might like better, and I'm not sure yet. I think I really need to do some more races and just get a little bit more practice in both. I don't know, maybe I'll find out that I like one better for certain races than the other. I thought the Speed Cross 4 would be heavier because of the cushion and the heel, but it's really not, and it actually does drain water pretty well, which is surprising. And they have these kind of weird shoelaces.
Yeah.
You don't have to tie them; it just like pulls.
Kevlar laces.
And that took me some time to get it to where like they weren't too tight and my toes went numb and stuff like that. But I really like them. I like both of the shoes. I haven't decided which one I like better yet, but I think they're both great, and it's just nice. And these have great grip as well. Both of them have excellent grip. I have no trouble with slipping. So yeah, I really like both of them.
Nice. Yeah. So I don't know, the first few races I did, I just used regular. I think one of them was Nike, and they had terrible traction and fell apart. I think I threw a pair. It was kind of an older pair anyway, but I threw it away at the end of a race. And then I started getting Saucony, and I got this pair here, which it's the XT600, which has some grip on it. I use these a lot, so some of the gripping tore out. You can tell I run on across my big toe. Ripped out right there, but they were pretty good, and I had 2 or 3 pairs of these over time. Partly why I got them was because they were pretty cheap and I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so they were like $60 or something. Oh, excuse me, these are the Excursion TR9s. Excursion TR9s, and I like this model with the tread that it had, and then they came out with the 11s and flip the tread around. I still have a pair of those just for like hiking and stuff. But the reason I switched from these was because at the OCR World Championships in 2017, the second or third time up the mountain, there was a really, 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 really muddy part, and people were just running right up it, and I could not get any traction at all. And I was like, well, I need a better shoe.
That was
So,
the race, right? Pretty
what?
close to the start.
What?
I said that was pretty close to the start of the race, right?
No, that was like in the middle, where it was after the big hills with the ropes, and then it was like the one hill that winded through the woods, or wound through the woods.
Oh, okay.
Before like Stairway to Heaven and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then these just weren't enough anymore. So I just threw them out a few months ago, actually. I got Solomon's, the Speed Cross 3s, same thing you have, just one model older. And I like those a lot. Huge upgrade in traction. What's up, Kosh?
Hey.
Huge upgrade in traction, but like Luke said, with the 4s, the heel's very high, so it's like an 11 millimeter drop. And over time, that wasn't great for my IT band. I started having issues with that, so it wasn't helping my running form. And then the toe box on those was very, very tight for me, so it felt like it was squeezing the front of my foot all the time. But they had awesome traction for races. I did find that they were kind of heavy after they got wet. They did, like, the water squeezed out of them, but they were just felt kind of heavy. So now I got a hold of what I race in now and do all my training in, which is the Salming OT comps. And they're insanely light. It's like a 5 millimeter drop versus an 11, so it took me a while to get used to that. The traction looks weird, and the first time I ever saw these, I was like, how does that have any traction? Like, those little lugs are just going to rip off and stuff, but they don't. And this is my second pair of them. My other pair is wet on the porch right now. So I just actually pulled these out yesterday to do a run. But the other pair is a good 400 miles in. It's starting to get a little tear on the outside where my little toe would be. But it's still going strong, feels good. I broke these out because the other ones were soaked and I didn't want to run with soaked shoes yesterday. But these are lightweight. They drain very, very well because it's very thin mesh up here. And they have great traction, and it's helped my running form a lot too. And one thing I liked about the Solomons was that they were kind of like bricks. They were very, very stiff and very sturdy. So if you like hit your toe on a rock or something, you didn't feel anything. And I was also hesitant about these because of that, but I have smashed my foot into rocks and felt virtually nothing. So these are what I race in now. I love them, and don't think I'm going to move away from them anytime soon. So that's where I've been with these things.
Cool. Well, I'm going to keep racing in my shoes, see which one I like better. I know Innovate has like a million different ones now. The X-Talon 200 are actually pretty old. But I think I'll probably try one of their newer models, maybe one that has a little bit more cushion, but still an Innovate. Because I think that would be a happy medium for me.
Yeah. I think I saw in the survey from just looking over it, since it just got filled out all the way, I think there were a bunch of people with the Mud Claw that really like the Mud Claw.
That's the brand new one?
I guess it might be a year or two old, but yeah, something like that.
All right. So what is the leader for the shoes?
Innovate out of the people we polled, Innovate is the top choice right now. It's like 40-something% of people have used Innovate. They have the option to choose all the different types of shoes that they currently race in. So they might be racing in other brands too, but Innovate's the most popular right now.
So I wonder if that's because they're the best or because they just happen to have a whole lot of the market.
That's a good question. Solomon's number 2, and I see people recommending Solomon in like OCR groups on Facebook far more than I see Innovate, but that doesn't mean that Innovate's not more popular or that they're not like better marketed or something. It was interesting though, because there's a question on there that asks essentially like, did you choose the shoe, like 3 top reasons why you got that shoe, and one of them is because I saw a great ad for it. And last time I looked, not one person said that that was the reason why they chose it. So, but they also said that I think quality might be the top choice right now. And so I wonder what conveys quality if it's not the ads. Like, why are people choosing Innovate and Solomon more than other ones if they're not choosing them based on ads that they've seen?
Probably from maybe their friends or the top athletes who they've seen wearing them. If you see somebody who's running a ton of races and getting on the podium, that shows some durability, and that shows that decent shoe.
That's true. Yeah. There was an option for that, and there were people saying because someone recommended it or they saw someone they respected on social media using them, but I'm surprised how low that was. So anyway, it's interesting data. We'll have all the data up in the post and everything. And I'll actually have another video up that goes through all the data and everything for this. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting who's wearing what and why, because people give the reasons why they like them. I know I kind of neglected to put Hoka on that list, partly because I'm not very familiar with it, even though I added a lot of shoes on there I'm not super familiar with. But anyway, there was an other section, and other got pretty good.
Hoka looks more of a road runner.
Yeah, I think they've moved. I think they've pulled out a few trail shoes lately, though, so I think it's growing for trail.
I just can't imagine that they'd be for like somebody going for speed, maybe for somebody who has previous injuries, needs more comfort, bad
Maybe.
something like that, because a lot of times that's what people use their road running shoes for, is if they have like, previous knee injuries or surgery, because they have so much cushion.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw the shoes, I was like, they look kind of funny. They look like clown shoes.
It looks like it's a boat.
Yeah.
It looks like a pontoon shoe. Yeah.
So, here's a question though. Where on the list is VJ Shoes? If that's the name.
Yeah. So I thought they'd get more than they got. I think it's because they're relatively new. They're not. I listed like 13 or 14 brands and then had the option for other. And I don't think they're in the top 5 of the ones listed, but they are really new. I was kind of surprised that it was kind of as low as it was, only because this year so many top athletes are being sponsored by VJ Shoes. Yeah, they're working with them in some capacity, and they all posted about it. Most of the top OCR athletes, the top ones. So I've seen tons of racers at races wearing them, but I'm kind of surprised how few who took the survey have them so far.
Really makes me curious though, because a lot of the top athletes, like you said, are using them. And I mean, like, you go on Instagram or Facebook, and I think it was today or yesterday, there was like 50 different posts from different athletes because they just got some of those shoes. But it makes you wonder, Ryan Atkins and Lindsey Webster, they both swear by them, so they could be a really good shoe.
John Albin, Ryan Kempson, I believe, just did a post. I know he's working with them somehow. Yeah. I think Ryan Woods is too. Yeah, a lot of them are wearing them. So, could be very good. They're pretty pricey, so I think that might also be another reason why people haven't got them. They're like almost twice as much as some of the other shoes. Yeah. I'm sure as they keep getting promoted by the top athletes that more people will get them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That seems to be working very well for VJ Shoes right now, which is good for them.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on shoes?
Not from me.
I think that's all I got too. Well, hope you enjoyed our take on some of the shoes we've been wearing. Like I said, I'm down to Salmings now, and I'm loving them so far. And Luke's trying to choose between Innovate and Solomon. Salming was nowhere near the top of the survey list, though. So you're in the majority, and I'm in the minority right now.
I think they're pretty new as well, aren't they?
They're new to the U.S. market and they're new to obstacle course racing. They've had trail shoes and road shoes for a long time, but yeah, they're new, so not surprising. All right, cool. All right, well, that's it for us on the shoes.